part.
Uh-huh.
When you bought your first guitar, Honeyboy, and what kind was it?
Silver tone.
Sears silver.
You ever heard talk of silver tone? Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck.
Oh, about $4.
What year was that?
Man, I be man, 1929. My daddy bought it for me.
Did you tear that one up like I tore my first one up? What happened to it?
Well, we moved over to Greenwood, and that was around in 31. Me and some more in 32. Walking down the streets, I was young, you know, about 14, 15. Walking down the streets with my guitar and mom, we wouldn't eating peanuts and on the Christmas Day popcorn and drinking a little pop. We was playing, three of us on Johnson Street. One of the boys knocked it off under my arm because I had a little cord string around my neck with it on my neck. Little cord string was to wipe a bag with it. And they knocked it off under my arm and broke it, fell on the street. The guitar bust all the pieces. By tuning up high, I just tore all the pieces. String one way and the body went the other way.
You cried like a baby, didn't you?
So I didn't get another guitar in a good while. So my sister married a man, played the guitar, and he had an old guitar. And every time he put it down, I'd pick it up. And that's the guitar I left home with Big Joe Williams when I was 17, 32. I left home with Joe Williams. I carried my brother-in-law's guitar with me, just stole it. When I brought it back, I get them, I had another one on my shoulder. I come back with two guitars apiece, one and a good one. A long story about that, man.
Yeah, it don't like having a favorite accent, man.
Long way to that, man.
When did you first come up to Chicago, Honeyboy?
Huh?
When did you first come up to Chicago?
45, the first year I met your father. First year I come to Chicago in 45.
Was he just as managed then as he was later on?
Huh?
Was he as terrible then as he became to be?
Who, your father?
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice boy. He always had a big smile, something to laugh about. He was my man. Jimmy Rogers always when somebody do something wrong, he looked at me and laugh, wink his eye. Yeah, he was always funny all the time. He's funny, yeah.
Yeah, he was full of dough.
Always could play though, boy. The boy always could play. Yeah, always could play. When Jimmy Rogers was young, he could play. He wasn't playing around, he could play.
Hey, Honeyboy.
Uh-huh.
You remember when Muddy came up to Chicago?
Yeah, Muddy come up about, Muddy come up, I think about the last of 45. Cause when me and Jimmy was messing around there, Muddy come, but Muddy wasn't recording then. Muddy was waiting for Lennon Chess, but he was driving a junk truck for him then. He didn't know Lennon had a recording station. Sunnyland carried Muddy water in there. And when he was waiting for Chess, Chess had a junkyard and a studio too, but Muddy didn't know it. In other words, Muddy wasn't looking for the recorder. He was looking for a job, a day job. And Sunderland carried him in there, and Chess heard him, and Chess told him, so I heard, that Chess told him, said, you was good, so I'm going to make you. He said, you ain't got to get in the truck no more. So that's possibly true. Sunderland didn't lie about nothing too fast.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago. Jimmy come out the army and he went clean every day. He wasn't doing them, getting that little check every month, from the army, just come out the army. And he stayed with the girl there on Newberry, right behind that hot dog stand there. And I was living in a little hotel down there on 14th Street, 14 and Horses. He tore down. Now, it used to be a chicken place there. I know you know where it is.
Oh, yeah.
I know you know where it is.
When did you meet Alan Lomax? When did y'all do all that?
Huh?
Alan Lomax. When did you cut for Alan?
Oh, that was a long time. That was 3 years before, 4 years, 3 years before then. Now, I recall for Alan Lomax in 42, I was 27 years old, something like that.
Where did you cut that at? Where were you at?
Where did you record at?
Yeah.
Clarksdale, Mississippi. We recorded out on King and Anderson out there the same place where Muddy Waters used to live on the plantation, King and Anderson. And Adam, he went out there and rented some part of a school called the Rolling Wall School from the trustee. And we started recording in there about 12 o'clock on a Monday noon on a Friday, in July the 20th. On a Friday, on July the 20th. And we started recording about 12:30. And before we got through, it come up a big storm that day. I mean, something like a tornado. And we had to quit recording in the middle of the session and cut all the stuff loose because so much the thunder and lightning and the wind was blowing. We had to cut all the electricity off. And we off about pretty close to an hour before it blowed over. Then we went back, started recording, and got the session over with. I was young then. Anything I think about playing something, everything, and I've done 17 numbers for him, 17 cuts out of Little Mac. I don't know. He gave me $20 bill, man. That's more money I had in my life, man. I could live over $20 3 weeks then, yeah, about.
I wish I could now. When did you meet Robert Johnson?
Well, when I met Robert, I wasn't looking to meet nobody. I was just hanging around in Greenwood. I was raised around Greenwood and Shaw. And I was hanging around with Tom McClellan. You ever heard talk of Tom McClellan?
Oh, yeah.
I was hanging around with Tom McClellan, him and Robert Petty. We was messing around together there, because they was older than I was, too. All them niggas was older than I was, man. And at the time, but it was a pretty good guitar player. There wasn't too much music but guitar and pianos and violins and harps and guitars then, you know. And this Saturday evening, I was walking down John Street, had my little guitar on my shoulder. And I walked up on Robert down in near Fullerton Street down there. Big lot there, and a little restaurant set off from the lot, and the house sitting back in the alley there where I used to go back there, and we drank whiskey. One used to sell white whiskey called Emma. And Robert standing with the guitar on his shoulder. A woman came down John Street in front of me. She was about half drunk. Yeah, mister says, play me a Terraplan blues. If you play me a Terraplan blues, I'll give you a dime. You know, he's playing for nickels and dimes anyway. He said, miss, that's my recording like that. She's about drunk, so I don't care who it is, but you play, you got a dime coming. So Robert started playing them Terraplan blues, turning all around the street, hollering and shivering and going on. She said, I believe that is that man. So that's just like that record. Robert, he filled the street full of people, and we all got back in the alley with so many people around me, I couldn't even get up to him then. You know, I just stood back, you know, until I got in to talk to him. I'm a little shy as the guitar player, you know. I got back in the alley. And he kept the crowd there about an hour. Seeing out to quit getting them nickel down, slowed down, and we started talking. Some of them seeing out, you know how to do. And I got told to him, I said, you Robert Johnson? He said, yeah. I know they come from around Robertsonville up there, I know that. Because he used to be around with Son House and all of them. And I said, you ever around Tunica, Mississippi? He said, yeah, I be to Tunica every other Saturday. And I said, you know a girl that's called Willie Mae Powers? He said, Willie Mae? He said, yeah. He said, that's my girlfriend. I said, that's my first cousin, too. And from that then on, we started getting sick, talking together, hooked up in the streets right then when I told him she was my cousin. So we started walking by me going to school around there. I know every little tavern, every little juke house around there in Greenwood, and I carried them to all the places that I know we'd play for. They'd give us whiskey and nickels and dimes. Robert loved whiskey and stuff. So I hung around with Robert all of 37 until Christmas, and I left. Then I went to New Orleans, went to Vicksburg, different places, and I come back there in 38. He was there. He was playing for this man at the Three Fork where we made this video at. He was playing for that man out there. But I used to go out there and mess around with him when he first started playing out there for the man. And he played for this man, running the juke about 7 or 8 months, pretty close. Yeah, about 7 or 8 months, because when I come back, he had been playing, before I left, he had been playing about 2 months. When I come back in March, he's still playing for him. And what really happened, man, he started going with the man's wife. She was a good-looking woman. Looked like hair mesh, hair hung down her back. And she had a sister live out in Greenwood, and that's where Robert was rooming out in Greenwood at over in the part of the town called Baptist Town, across the Southern Railroad over there, in a little colored quarter over there. And every Monday she'd come out to Greenwood to visit her sister. Claims she coming to see her sister, but she's out there with Robert, went over in Baptist Town. And you know how in a small town like that, everybody know each other when they see them in the streets. When it rained out in the country, people couldn't get a chance to do no work out there. They come on up in town and drink some whiskey and beer, And every day they'd come up in town when it rained, somebody see Robin Hood walking the streets, John Street. They'd go back out in the country and tell her husband, well, I saw Robin's wife on Johnson Street. I saw him walking down Johnson Street. Well, the man didn't pardon Robert himself. The woman was selling hamburgers and whiskey stuff, give Robert the whiskey, but he give her the whiskey to give Robert, but she didn't know what she was giving Robert, because Robert loved whiskey. He said, give Robert this half pound of whiskey, because he loved whiskey anyway, And that's what happened. The night that he got poisoned, me and Sonny Boy was there. Summer Boy number 2, Rice Miller. We was there, because his Sonny Boy had been playing on the streets that Saturday too. And that night he wasn't doing that, so he had got drunk, made a pocket of nickels and dimes. He started to come on out there where it'd be up all night long. He come on out there. And we were the only 2 musicians out there that night. And I know the night he got poisoned, and I know the day he died. He died on the 17th day of August, 1938, on a Wednesday. I know the day he died. I was 22 years old. I got good remember. But I tell you what, a lot of people think because you used to play with the people, you should play like them. I never did. One man I used to play like, mess around with a little bit. I don't know why I do that. And I didn't like even much the keys he played in, but Joe Williams. He didn't play in nothing but Spanish all the time. He done all that recording, everything. He never done nothing natural, all in Spanish. And how he changed his keys with the capo. Changed the tunes I'm talking about. Not the keys, he changed the tunes. And when you want to play in Spanish, you slide that cable right there, he got a lower sound. He got a higher sound. He played the same as this. He made 1,000 records in about with the same key. Yeah. He made about all of them with Sonny Boy number 1. Yeah. So that's that. You don't never go by how a person play. The try to play in the world. That goes good sometimes. You never know. And I used to mark and believe it, but I quit. I try to get my own style. You know what I'm talking about? I never did try to step on nobody's step too much, but I try to learn enough of somebody's stuff to do some of it if somebody want me to do it. But I always stayed me. And when I went out in Texas, and I really changed my own style back that around in 50, 51. I changed over a lot.
Well, hey, honey, give me some of that old school stuff. Show me what you're talking about. Take me back to Mississippi.
I'm going to send you somewhere, Arkansas somewhere.